Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Hope you guys have been doing well. Today we'll be talking about the popular Normandie Club that was located in Gardena, California at the location on South Vermont Avenue before moving to 1045 West Roserans Avenue from the years of 1945 up until 2016 before changing into the Lucky Lady Casino. The Normandie Club was originally opened up by Russ Miller, who was a former doorman at the Embassy Club for Ernie Primm. Miller would acquire the Western Club, built in 1940, and would later turn it into the Normandie Club. A little background information about Russ Miller: he was said to be a true pioneer of the gaming industry in California. He was selected to appear on the Gardena Wall of Fame in 1998 and in the fall of 2007. Russ Miller was inducted in the Golden State Gaming Association Hall of Fame for his innovation and dedication to California gaming, as stated by the Normandie Casino on LinkedIn. Ernie Primm was pretty early in starting clubs in Gardena. He opened Ernie Primm's card club in the 30s, so I'm sure Miller was seeing what was going to happen, helping him make the decision to acquire the Western Club and turning it into the Normandie. Once the Normandie Club was up and running, it would join the Embassy Club, which was opened in 1938. Into the mid and late 40s, we would get to see a majority of the clubs that made Gardena the place to be, at one point even being called the poker capital of the world, being the only city in the LA County that had clubs. Clubs like the Normandie, Monterey, Rainbow, and Horseshoe Club would make way for more people to find out what poker and cards was. It gave them a place to go enjoy some time, maybe grab a couple drinks, and socialize with others. Something that I don't believe many places in California had for those that didn't have access to drive to Vegas. Although the Strip was just getting started, downtown Vegas had been around for some time, and gambling was starting to get very popular down there. We have to also think that Gardena would start to get very popular after World War II. Some people had more money, so they started to build and buy houses in Gardena, helping make the city larger. Also, you had people moving across the country, those that might have met others in their military units and knew that they lived in Gardena. Thinking about wages back then too, and seeing all the smaller denominations on the chips like 5 cents, 10 cents, 25 cents, and so on, the average wage wasn't like it is today. The average wage back then could have been somewhere from 45 cents upwards to 70 cents, depending on what you were doing for a job. Ernie Primm sort of ruled Gardena with the Monterey and Rainbow clubs, but that didn't stop the Normandie. In the 50s, you didn't have dealers at a table either. Most of the time when you would go to these clubs like the Normandie, you would go with some buddies. You could almost rent a table and pay a fee to be at the table for a certain amount of time. Let's say it was around 30 minutes. Every 30 minutes, a chip girl came to collect money from the players, and if someone didn't want to pay the fee, then they would be done for that time. All the tables were round tables where you were more than likely able to fit 4 to 5 people, 6 if you were lucky. This made it very easy for people to play and enjoy their time at the clubs. Now, you might be wondering why these places were also called clubs as well. They were called clubs because poker was said to be a game of skill, not a game of luck. So, if you were at a casino, you would be basically betting on getting lucky, and in the state of California, a majority of the casinos in the early days didn't last too long because of that. It was almost like an inside loophole to be named a casino, and they were allowed to stay open and run these card clubs. Now, let's take a moment here to talk about what we might expect for chips in the early days of Gardena. Lots of you who know already will immediately think about TRK or TR King Co., the famous large and small crown chips that many places in California used, and I think all early clubs in Gardena did. They all started out with the large crown chips and later moved on to the small crown chips, of which many people collect both styles, more often the small crown chips though. There were also people that have taken the time to collect Normandie Club casino chips, whether that be a single, a barrel, a rack, or even a full playable set, which really brings the Normandie Club into your home game. Business would stay steady at the Normandie through the 60s and into the 80s when they would move the club to 1045 Roserans Avenue. After moving locations, the Normandy would introduce 7-stud and Hold'em to the casino, as well as Blackjack, Pai Gow, and Super 9, which was a fast-paced game that resembled Baccarat. Russ Miller and his wife Mary would leave the Normandy to their 4 sons just before the year 2000. At this time, it would be the oldest card club in the state of California, and it would have a very special place in history. Russ Miller and his wife put everything into the Normandy, and it surely shows. It's truly incredible to be able to own a club that opened in 1947 all the way until he passed it on to his sons. They would run the club until 2016. The Normandie Club would end up being bought by Larry Flynt, who also owned the Hustler Casino at the time and wanted to turn the Normandy into a Vegas-style resort. With doing so, he also changed the name to the Lucky Lady Casino, which is still open today. This was some insanely incredible history and truly makes me appreciate the casinos that are from Gardena much more. I'll have to make sure I get some of the chips from the Normandy and the others as well when I get a chance. If you did enjoy this video, it would mean a lot if you liked the video. If you know something that I missed, please put it down in the comments below. And if you're new here, please consider subscribing. I hope you guys learned something about the Normandie Club that was in Gardena, because this was mainly the first time I've kind of ever took the time to research into it and mainly heard some history about it. It's incredible. Like, I can't get over it. So thank you guys again for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.